Hello ladies and gentlemen and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to another new release review. For today I will be reviewing Adrift. Adrift was directed by Balthazar Kormaker, if I'm pronouncing that right. I believe I am. I am very sorry if I am not. And stars Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin. The movie is based on the real-life story of Tammy and Richard, a couple who set sail from Hawaii to California. During that, they actually ended up encountering Hurricane Richard, I believe it was. Their sailboat crashes, and it leaves them stranded in the middle of nowhere, and their fight for survival begins. To start, the two leads in this movie, Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin, are great. They really show they can hold up a movie on their own, because a lot of the movie focuses on just the two of them, and they absolutely kill it. They embody these people, these real life people, and to me, that is a huge accomplishment, and they did a great job. Next is the scenery. The scenery in this movie is absolutely beautiful. I believe most of it was shot in Hawaii, or at least it takes place in Hawaii, but anything from the mountains to the water, scenery is absolutely beautiful. The next part is the survival. I love survival movies like The Martian, 127 Hours, Ryan Reynolds' Buried, and I don't think this movie necessarily reaches the heights of any of those, but I love the survival aspects, the rationing foods, thinking of stuff on the spot, the having to survive on your toes, digging around and rummaging from spare parts and scraps to build their boat back together. And the last positive is the makeup. The makeup is fantastic in this movie. They're out at sea for quite some time. They're under that hot sun, and it really shows. Their lips get all cracked, dry skin, any injuries they might have had are shown in gruesome fashion, and all the makeup is well done. But now down to the negatives. Right out of the gate, the thing that bothered me the absolute most is the timeline of this movie. It switches back and forth between before the crash and survival after the crash, and that to me was a really bad way of doing it, because almost any time that the movie gets interesting, it just flips back to some random part of them being in love and doing random stuff like getting groceries, and to me that was a major pain in the ass. Next is the CGI. There's not much of it, because a lot of it actually is shot on location, but when there is CGI, like during the storm, it's brutal. The CGI really wasn't good in this movie at all. And you can tell that during the crash sequence, they really tried to mask the CGI by doing a lot of close-ups on the characters. The sound design is fantastic. Props to the sound design department, because it still really made me feel like I was involved in the crash when I was hearing it. Next, it goes back to the timeline, but it's more so the pacing. I would have preferred just a straight movie beginning to end, sort of like The Martian. Instead, we just got this pacing where it's like, oh, it's actually exciting, and then now we're watching them get groceries and kiss a bunch for 10-15 minutes. Okay, now something cool's happening again, and now we're going to them having tea and talking to old people, and it led to it feeling like a really long movie at times. It's only been an hour and a half, and it felt super long. Another thing is the camera angles a lot of the time, and a lot of the water stuff. I'm someone who gets motion sickness, so like just seeing them on the boat and stuff is fine, but a lot of the time when they're swimming, this camera angles, it acts almost as if like the camera's on a buoy in the water, but like the bottom of the buoy, it's like going above water, underwater, above water, underwater, and that bobbingness all the time really made me dizzy and really made me not want to look at the screen. I know they're trying to mimic that you're actually on the boat, but sometimes the camera angles can get really nauseating. To summarize, guys, the positives are the leads are fantastic, the scenery is beautiful, and the survival aspects of this movie are really well done, and the makeup is fantastic. Probably by far the best part of this movie is really neck and neck with the leads. The negatives are the timeline, the switching back and forth between past and present is really annoying, made the movie feel super long. The CGI was horrible when it was in it, and the camera angles at times, especially when they were actually like in the water swimming and stuff, I just had to look down because I was like, this is literally giving me motion sickness. So like I said, I didn't love this movie. I didn't think it was like a great survival movie, but it definitely wasn't a bad one. It was just kind of an okay one. So for that reason, guys, I'm going to have to give Adrift a 6.5 out of 10. So guys, if you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment what's your favorite survival movie and why. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and that's a wrap.